If you thought I was gonna go outside and give you this rebel report, you're crazy. I don't know who's in charge, but it's scary out there. Let me show you Exhibit A. Exhibit A. This is how the water looked when I got back to my car. You see that? That's ice in there. For all the guys that said they coated the car. The car need a coat. It's a winter weather advisory. This is 10 degrees right now. It feel like it's -2. Baby boo, if you thought going outside tonight to look cute with the day to do it, you're dead out of pocket. You're gonna die. You're gonna freeze. Please, wrap that. Matter of fact, wrap it up. Everybody go home. Clubs is closed too. Them niggas, the promoters, everything. Go home. Call your boss tomorrow. Tell them it's a wrap. If you thought we was coming into work during these inclement weathers, nah, wrap that up. Tell them I said so. You heard? Put that on me, Jack. Cause Jack Frost acting crazy. I don't know what. That's fact.
The internet is buzzing again, and this time it feels like something crossed a line. According to reports that are circulating, 50 Cent allegedly leaked what looks like security footage of Jim Jones during the freeze storm. And the reaction is so cold it's almost shocking. Fans are shocked because this isn't just a typical online roast, it's being described like a public exposure. A moment that makes you wonder who is watching, who is feeding information, and how far the situation might go. The clip shows Jim Jones walking through a hallway in a ski mask, and 50 Cent's caption supposedly mocks the whole situation, saying there is no heat, and joking about the building being so cold that even a door has to be kicked in to get warmth.
50 Cent came to the internet yesterday to remind us that he still got somebody on the inside with Jim Jones once again. As he came to the gram, he already had posted before when the lights was going out that they wasn't having heat over there, and that came with Cameron as well. But yesterday he came on there and posted up a video of Jim Jones walking through there with a ski mask on, looking like they was messing with something in the hallway, and he put up a freezing cover art of Jim Jones with the ski mask on and said, "It's 10 degrees below zero in NY. Old boy kicking in the door trying to get some heat. LOL." Just continuing to mock him and stuff like that. But Jim Jones caught wind of it, posted it right back up himself and said, "This is a good one. Tell him send me the PDF so I can make merch. LOL. IFC. It's effing cold tees dropping this week." Then Jim Jones came back with another response and said, "Hey, I respect all contractors and constructions workers that go hard every day because they way my back was talking to me after a couple hours of work was not right." Because, yeah, I don't know what he's trying to say right there. But he said, hashtag Jones Improvement Show coming soon, where you get to take an inside look of us building the IFC factory in real time. I need a tool sponsor at the IFC factory. As Jim Jones has been saying, that his building is under construction, they are working on it. He said that he out there helping the team.
The deeper story that commentary channels are building is not about the cold weather. It's about access. How did 50 Cent get this footage? Who is sending it to him? And why does it feel like a private moment is being turned into public entertainment? Fans are shocked by the idea that someone inside the circle might be leaking content like this. And when the footage looks like it came from inside the building, it raises questions about loyalty, betrayal, and hidden motives. Emotions ran high as viewers tried to figure out whether this was simply a joke or something more strategic.
This is all a part of the process where you try to build something from scratch and things. I'm just asking this. How is he getting these video clips? Who is sending this over there to 50 Cent? Because that is cold. Like, bro is not supposed to have this much inside info to what Jim Jones got going on inside of his studio home. Just keeping it all the way 1,000. Where, hey, dog, this is why I go record it. This is why I go create it. This is my business place that I'm working on. How does he know what's going on with the landlord? How does he know what's going on with this? How does he know what's going on with the heat and things? Who is sending this to 50 Cent? And whoever that is, y'all down low and cold, and it don't seem like they stopping no time soon, because that looked like a security camera right there. Maybe it's the landlord or somebody who got access to something. I don't think boys is hacking. That hacking game and getting encrypted codes to get inside of people's stuff is that cold, and they just send to 50 Cent. I know a lot of times when 50 Cent do stuff, he getting it directly from the fans. Like, hey, the certain memes, certain videos, certain AI posts, That come from fans tagging him, sending it to him. You know, his fan base, they got the same mentality as him. That's what happened in the rap game. You do something for so long, people that think like you, they gonna make sure you get what you need. They get your dissing on. They gonna tag you and stuff, all that. But for him to have this, I don't know who was doing that right there. That's some low down stuff. But Jim Jones has made it a point to let it be known he ain't stopping.
And then, as the story goes, Jim Jones did not stay quiet. He allegedly responded with his own post, turning the moment into a promotional opportunity, saying it was a good one, and even joking about making merch. The response itself sparked a new wave of reactions, with supporters praising his confidence and critics saying he was trying to turn humiliation into marketing. The family was left divided in the public eye, with some fans defending him as a survivor and others saying he was playing into the drama.
The attention that I want, Jim Jones said that he's now the algorithm bender last year, call him AB, algorithm bender, as he even just had this stuff going on, what he said about Kid Cudi with the day and night. The interview he did on the No Rap podcast kicked all his latest stuff up, which that was a crazy situation because they sitting on there generally talking to Jim Jones, just asking him questions, and he just telling them, you know, they from the South, they from New Orleans, they just asking them questions like, you know, as rap, hip-hop interview, and Jim Jones gets to that talking like Cameron ain't this, Dave Dash ain't this and that, Dave wasn't no influence. Oh man, they didn't do this, Dipset wasn't that, and then now he went in there with the day and night Kid Cudi. Oh yeah, Kid Cudi got signed because of me. If it wasn't for me remixing his song, I made the song blew up and it turned up in New York. That's how he ended up getting his deal and things. They wanted it after me. I was like, man, he just sitting there letting them have it. Jim Jones is wild, but I gotta say this, he ain't quitting. Jim Jones gonna keep rapping. When I went to New York last year, bro was outside on the block working, getting it in at the pop-up. He gonna make sure he's slanging clothes. He gonna make sure he in the mix. He's showing love to the supporters, the fans, the people, touching the people. Now he working on his studio day and night. He in there grinding with it, trying to get the Let's Rap About It podcast off the ground. But hey,
this is the kind of story that makes you ask, is this just entertainment or a calculated power move? The internet is watching, and the tension is only growing. The moment that video started circulating, the internet did what it always does. It turned a simple moment into a full-blown saga. According to the commentary that's spreading, 50 Cent allegedly leaked security footage of Jim Jones during the freeze storm, and the whole thing is being described like a public exposure rather than a roast. The clip supposedly shows Jim Jones walking through a hallway with a ski mask on, looking like he's dealing with a real problem inside the building. And then 50 Cent drops the caption, mocking him for having no heat. Fans are shocked, because it feels like the situation went from playful to personal in seconds. What made this even more intense, according to reports, is the way people began questioning how 50 Cent got the footage in the first place. The video looks like it came from inside the building, like a security camera or a private recording. That means someone close to the situation might be sending clips directly to him. And that possibility alone started a wave of speculation about betrayal. Emotions ran high across social media, with people arguing about whether this was a simple leak or a targeted attempt to embarrass someone publicly. The family was left divided in public perception, with supporters rushing to defend Jim Jones, while critics insisted he was getting what he deserved for the way he handled his recent controversies. The drama intensified when Jim Jones reportedly responded, not with anger, but with confidence. Commentary channels claim he reposted the video and joked about it being a good one, even suggesting he might turn it into merch. That response alone made the situation feel like a chess game. Some fans praised him for flipping the narrative, while others said he was trying to profit from humiliation. The emotions ran high because it seemed like both sides were using the same moment for completely different purposes. Then the speculation got deeper. People began asking whether the footage was actually a security camera recording or something else entirely. Some suggested it was a leaked clip from someone who had access to the building, while others said it could be a fan-made edit that 50 Cent shared to create drama. The internet loves a mystery, and this one had the perfect ingredients: power, secrecy, and a high-profile target. Fans are shocked because, even if the footage was real, the reaction made it feel like a new level of exposure. It wasn't just a joke. It was a public display of control. The conversation quickly moved beyond the video itself. According to commentary, people started looking at the bigger picture. Why would 50 Cent have access to this kind of inside information? Who would be close enough to share it? And what does that say about loyalty in the industry? Fans began to speculate about hidden alliances and secret informants, and the theories grew wilder by the hour. Emotions ran high because the idea of someone being watched from the inside felt almost like a betrayal, not just of a person, but of trust. As the drama continued, rumors started spreading about the building and its management. Some people claimed that the landlord or someone involved in the construction might be the one sending footage. Others argued that it could be someone within Jim Jones' team, who felt slighted or wanted to gain favor with 50 Cent. The speculation alone was enough to divide fans into different camps. The family was left divided in public opinion, with some believing Jim Jones was being unfairly targeted, while others insisted he had brought this on himself by acting too confident and too loud. In the middle of all this, the freeze storm became more than just weather. It turned into a symbol in the narrative, representing vulnerability. The idea that someone could be caught without heat in a building they were promoting as a creative hub made the situation feel humiliating, and that humiliation became the fuel for the controversy. Fans are shocked because it seems like a private struggle was turned into a public joke, and that line between entertainment and cruelty started to blur. The tone of the commentary also began to shift as people dug deeper into the timeline. Some claimed that 50 Cent's posts were not random, but carefully timed. They said he had been watching the situation unfold, waiting for the right moment to strike. Fans are shocked because it suggests that the drama was being orchestrated, not just reacted to. Emotions ran high because it made the situation feel more like a calculated power move than a simple joke. Then came the reactions from other figures in the industry. Commentary channels claimed that several artists and influencers began taking sides, some openly supporting 50 Cent, others defending Jim Jones. The public debate became a test of loyalty. People started sharing old clips, interviews, and statements, trying to use them as evidence of who was right. The drama became layered, with each new opinion adding another twist to the story. The family was left divided, not only in terms of support but also in how they interpreted the situation. One of the most discussed elements in the commentary were asking who had access to the building, who had cameras, and who had the power to share what was happening inside. The speculation became so wild that it almost felt like a scripted reality show, with everyone waiting for the next reveal. Fans are shocked because the idea that someone could be leaking private footage felt like a betrayal on a personal level, not just a public one. According to commentary, the narrative began to focus on the idea of trust being broken. Jim Jones, who has built his image around being street smart and in control, was suddenly portrayed as vulnerable, not just to the cold, but to the people around him. Emotions ran high as fans discussed how difficult it must be to realize that someone in your circle might be sharing private moments with a rival. The family was left divided in the public eye, with some people saying Jim Jones should cut ties with anyone who might have leaked the footage, while others insisted he should be more careful about who he lets close. The drama also intensified because the freeze storm was still ongoing, and people began using the weather as a metaphor. Commentators said the storm represented the chilling effect of the leak, as if the whole situation was freezing relationships and trust. The idea of no heat became symbolic, not just about a building, but about loyalty and warmth in friendships. Fans are shocked because the phrase "no heat" started being used in comments and reactions as a way to describe the entire situation. Then came the reactions from people who were close to the situation, or at least claimed to be. Some commentators said that a member of Jim Jones' team was seen in a video looking upset, suggesting that tensions were rising behind the scenes. Others claimed that people close to 50 Cent were enjoying the moment, laughing and sharing clips, which only added fuel to the fire. Emotions ran high because the audience began to feel like they were watching a private argument unfold in public. And that sense of intrusion made the story even more intense. One of the most talked about moments, according to these reports, was a supposed conversation between two unnamed people in Jim Jones' circle. The recreated dialogue went like this: "Yo, you really letting this happen?" One voice said. The other responded, "What you mean? He got the footage. He's using it." The first voice replied, "That's our business. That's not for him to share." This kind of conversation, even if it was not confirmed, made the story feel like a betrayal drama, and fans were shocked by how quickly loyalty seemed to be questioned. As the controversy grew, people started speculating about motives. Some believed 50 Cent was simply trying to embarrass Jim Jones for clout. Others argued that he was trying to expose weaknesses, to show that Jim Jones' empire was not as strong as he claimed. The debate became intense, with fans accusing each other of missing the bigger picture. Emotions ran high because it felt like a fight over who was telling the truth, and everyone believed their side was the only logical one. The story also began to involve other names. As people started connecting this situation to past conflicts and old rivalries, commentators brought up previous disagreements, suggesting that the leak was not just about the storm, but about a larger pattern of tension between the two figures. Fans are shocked because the narrative was expanding beyond the immediate incident, turning into a long-term drama with historical roots. The family was left divided as supporters dug up old interviews and clips to prove their points. Another twist in the commentary was the idea that Jim Jones was using the situation to his advantage. Some people argued that by reposting the footage and joking about it, he was showing strength and refusing to be embarrassed. Others said he was trying to control the narrative and turn a humiliating moment into a marketing opportunity. Emotions ran high because it was unclear whether his response was genuine confidence or a defensive move. The audience began to question whether he was really unaffected or just pretending to be. The debate continued to escalate as people began to discuss the ethics of sharing security footage. Some argued that it was a violation of privacy and trust, while others claimed that public figures should expect exposure. The conversation became a moral battleground, with fans taking sides based on their values and loyalties. Fans are shocked because what started as a funny post turned into a debate about ethics, privacy, and power. As the day went on, more speculation emerged about the source of the footage. Some people said it could be a friend who was trying to gain favor with 50 Cent. Others claimed it could be someone in Jim Jones' team who felt betrayed and wanted revenge. The theories became more dramatic, suggesting that the leak could be part of a bigger plan to destabilize Jim Jones. Emotions ran high because the audience began to feel like they were witnessing a real-life betrayal drama, with people's loyalties and motives hidden beneath the surface. Then, according to commentary, Jim Jones began to respond more directly. He posted videos showing him working on his projects, trying to show that he was not bothered by the situation. He also hinted that he knew who was behind the leak, without naming anyone. Fans are shocked because the hint created even more speculation, and emotions ran high as people tried to guess who he was referring to. The family was left divided as supporters began accusing each other of being the source, turning the situation into a real-life guessing game. As the night progressed, the story continued to evolve. Commentators said that people were watching closely, waiting for the next post, the next response, the next twist. The drama kept moving, and the audience remained engaged. Fans are shocked because it felt like a never-ending cycle of speculation, and emotions ran high because every new detail seemed to add another layer of tension. The story was no longer just about a video, but about trust, betrayal, and power in the public eye. As the story kept spreading, the tension reportedly reached a new level, and the conversation began to shift toward what the leak meant for the relationships around Jim Jones. People started asking if this was just a random clip or if it was a sign that someone close was trying to sabotage him. Fans are shocked because the idea of a betrayal from within is always the most painful, and the more people talked, the more the story began to feel like a real-life soap opera. Commentary channels started focusing on the emotional impact. They said that even if the footage was harmless, the act of sharing it publicly felt like a violation. People began speculating about how Jim Jones must feel, seeing a private moment turned into public content. Emotions ran high as fans imagined him watching the clip, knowing that someone in his circle could have shared it. The family was left divided in public opinion, with some saying he should confront the person directly, and others saying he should keep his distance to avoid more drama. Then, according to reports, the narrative took another twist when a supposed insider claimed that the footage was not actually from a security camera but from someone recording it on their phone. This theory changed the story completely. If it was a phone recording, then it suggested that someone was physically present and chose to capture the moment intentionally. Fans are shocked because that would mean the leak was not accidental, but a deliberate act. Emotions ran high as people debated whether the person was trying to expose him or simply trying to get attention. The dialogue around the situation also became more heated. Some fans argued that Jim Jones should have handled the situation privately, while others believed he was justified in turning it into a public moment to show he was not affected. The debate became a battle over strategy. Supporters of Jim Jones argued that he was smart for flipping the narrative, while critics said he was feeding the drama. Emotions ran high because it felt like every move was being judged and interpreted as a sign of weakness or strength. The story also began to involve other figures in the industry. Commentators claimed that some artists were using the situation to their advantage, either by supporting 50 Cent or by supporting Jim Jones. Fans are shocked because it seemed like the drama was spreading like wildfire, pulling more people into the conflict. The family was left divided, not only in terms of loyalty, but also in how they viewed the situation. Some believed it was a harmless joke, while others believed it was a serious betrayal. Another twist came when the conversation turned to the idea of a larger plan. Some people argued that 50 Cent was using the footage to send a message, not just to Jim Jones, but to everyone in the industry. They claimed that he was showing that he has access to inside information and that he can expose people if he wants to. Fans are shocked because the idea of someone having that kind of reach feels intimidating. Emotions ran high because it made the situation feel more dangerous than just a simple online feud. The drama also started to focus on the idea of reputation. Commentators said that Jim Jones has always been seen as someone who is tough and in control, but the leak made him look vulnerable. Fans are shocked because it challenged the image he has built. Emotions ran high as people discussed whether this moment could damage his credibility or whether his response would strengthen his image. The family was left divided in the public eye, with some believing he would recover and others believing the damage was already done. Then, according to reports, Jim Jones began to take a more aggressive stance. He posted videos implying that he knew who was behind the leak and that he was not afraid to handle it. This response escalated the tension because it suggested that the situation was moving beyond online drama and into real-life consequences. Fans are shocked because the idea of retaliation became a part of the story. Emotions ran high as people wondered whether the conflict could turn physical or legal. The conversation also turned toward the ethical side of sharing footage. Some fans argued that it was wrong to share private moments, even if the person is a public figure. Others argued that in the age of social media, everything is public and people should be prepared for exposure. The debate became a moral battlefield, with fans taking sides based on their values. Fans are shocked because the conversation became more serious than anyone expected as the story continued. People began to speculate about what would happen next. Would Jim Jones confront the person who leaked the footage? Would 50 Cent release more clips? Would the situation escalate into something more serious? Emotions ran high because the uncertainty kept people engaged. The drama felt like it was still building, and the audience was waiting for the next twist. And then, according to commentary, the most shocking twist of all began to surface. A rumor started that the leak could be connected to a larger conflict within the industry, involving other names and old rivalries. Fans are shocked because the story was no longer just about a single clip. It was becoming a symbol of power, loyalty, and influence. The family was left divided as the narrative grew bigger, pulling more people into the drama and making it feel like it could never truly end. As the drama continued to unfold, the conversation reportedly shifted toward the aftermath and what the leak meant for everyone involved. Fans are shocked because the story had moved beyond a simple post into something that felt like a test of loyalty and power. The idea that someone could have leaked private footage made people question everything, and the tension seemed to hang in the air like a storm that would not pass. Emotions ran high as the audience waited for the next move, and the family was left divided in public opinion, with supporters of both sides refusing to back down. In the commentary, many people began to speculate that the leak might have been part of a bigger plan to control the narrative. They argued that 50 Cent could have been using the footage to send a message, not only to Jim Jones, but to anyone who thought they could rise without consequences. The theory suggested that by exposing a vulnerable moment, he was reminding everyone that he has reach and influence. Fans are shocked because it made the situation feel more like a power play than a simple joke. Emotions ran high because the implications were bigger than just a single incident. At the same time, Jim Jones was described as refusing to be defeated. According to commentary, he continued to post content showing him working on his projects, focusing on building his empire and proving that he was not bothered by the drama. This response was seen by many as a sign of strength, while others saw it as a way to distract from the issue. The family was left divided because some fans believed he was handling it well, while others thought he was trying too hard to save face. Then, according to reports, the conversation turned toward the possible consequences for the person who leaked the footage. Some people argued that if someone in Jim Jones' circle was responsible, they could face serious backlash or even be cut off. Others argued that the person might have done it intentionally to gain favor or attention, and that they should not be surprised by the reaction. Emotions ran high because the idea of betrayal was becoming central to the story, and fans were divided on whether the leak was an act of betrayal or a strategic move. Another twist in the commentary was the idea that the situation could have legal consequences. Some fans argued that sharing security footage could be illegal, especially if it was done without permission. Others argued that in the world of public figures, everything is fair game. The debate became heated as people discussed whether the leak could lead to legal action, or if it would remain a social media scandal. Fans are shocked because the idea of the drama turning into a real legal issue made the situation feel more serious. That the story also began to involve other names and connections, as people started linking the leak to past conflicts and rivalries. Commentators suggested that the situation was not isolated, but part of a larger pattern of tension between different figures in the industry. Fans are shocked because the narrative was expanding beyond the immediate incident, making it feel like a long-term drama with deep roots. The family was left divided as supporters dug up old clips and interviews to support their arguments. As the weeks passed, the story began to settle into a strange kind of quiet. The initial intensity faded, but the impact remained. Fans continued to talk about it, and the story continued to be referenced in other discussions. The commentary suggested that the leak had changed the way people viewed both figures. Jim Jones was seen as more vulnerable, but also more resilient. while 50 Cent was seen as more powerful and influential than ever. Emotions ran high as people realized the lasting effect of a single post. In the end, the story was remembered not for the footage itself, but for the way it revealed the dynamics of power and loyalty in the industry. Fans are shocked because it showed how easily private moments can become public and how quickly trust can be broken. The family was left divided in the public eye, with supporters of both sides continuing to argue about who was right. The drama became a reminder that in the world of entertainment, stories can grow beyond their origins and take on a life of their own. And even though the freeze storm passed, the chill of the story remained. It became a cautionary tale about the dangers of leaking private moments and the power of influence in a world where everything can be shared instantly. Fans are shocked because the narrative showed that even a simple post can create a ripple effect, and that the consequences of exposure can last far longer than the moment itself. The drama may have cooled, but the story never truly ended. Because, in the world of internet commentary, nothing ever really disappears. Now it's your turn to weigh in, because this story is still being talked about, and the debate is far from over. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided in public opinion. But the biggest question remains, do you think this was just a strategic move for clout? Or was it a real betrayal from inside the circle? If you were watching this unfold, what would you have done? Would you have confronted the person who leaked the footage, or would you stay silent to avoid feeding the drama? Do you believe 50 Cent had the right to share that clip, or did he cross a line? And what do you think Jim Jones should do next to protect his reputation? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know your side. If you want more deep dives like this, make sure you hit the like button, because it helps the channel bring you more content like this. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you don't miss the next update when the story takes another turn. Your opinion matters, and this is the place where fans can speak their minds. Tell us what you think will happen next, and who you believe is really behind the leak. Stay tuned, stay alert, and remember, in the world of online drama, the truth is often stranger than the story.